Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. My hair looks terrible. Like headphones and like I don't want it to look too much like I have it like slicked back or whatever. Anyway, that's not important. Hi everyone, my name is Eric. I make a game. Like, I make games. I make a video game called GB Rover, which will be coming out at some point in a few months. I swear, like, it's getting there. Like, had a bit of a slow week this week, but we'll get there. Like, it was one of those weeks where, like, I did a bunch of stuff, but, like, nothing that's really showing up in the game itself. It's more like, again, like, adjacent stuff that needs to be done, and unfortunately I'm only one person, so that means I have to do everything, and it's kind of rough sometimes in terms of, like, time management. But anyway, it'll be out at some point on Steam and also on itch.io and like whatever else platform I might be like allowed to do so at some point, maybe later, who knows. What you can do, however, and what I would really appreciate if you could do it, is go to Steam. Link is down in the, like, both on my Twitch channel as well as on the ones that's on YouTube in the video description. Go to Steam and wishlist GB Rover. That would be incredibly nice of you. You can also subscribe to my email newsletter, which I am going to use mostly for larger announcements like, oh, there's a new game coming, or this game is out now, or whatever. Like, you won't get a lot of like stuff there, but like the most important stuff you'll get there. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mokograd, which is MOKKOGRAD. I'm sometimes thinking about like picking a different name that is a bit less self-congratulating, but I don't know. You could also follow my personal Twitter account, but I advise against that because I complain a lot, and like at Mokograd is like all of the video game stuff anyway, and I think it's like if you're there for that, you can do that. You can also find my other Twitter account and follow me there, I guess, if you want to, but anyway. Anything else? No, I think that's it. So there are like a few small things I want to do this week. Not large work. Oh, by the way, also, like it could be that I like have to do short breaks every once in a while because I am making bread right now and it like occasionally demands my attention. I have to go like get it out of its bowl, fold the dough, put it back in the bowl again, let it sit around for a while. I'm also doing my laundry right now. Don't think that the mic will pick up the laundering machine, but I might have to like go and get it out of the machine at some point as well. But that's just so that you know, there might be some breaks, which is a good thing because breaks is something that I usually am not doing all that often. So doing those is a good idea. Anyway, what do I want to do today? So let's get a text document up. Also, I'll look closer. Okay, this way people can even read it. Isn't that great? So there are several things I want to do. First of all, check if you can increase the font size for like for level intro text pop up. That's the problem when you like zoom in that closely. You can't read everything in one like part. This is still readable, right? I hope so. If not, let me know. Then add small particles to dash move and add additional like effect when moving at very high speeds. So also, so that we're all on the same page, just going to show you the current state of things. I did some small work this week. Again, not a lot, because I had a bunch of stuff like that I had to do, and like I had a bunch of appointments. Like for example, like the whole Wednesday just completely went out the window in terms of like having time to actually do work on the game, because like I had 2 appointments that day and like had to like travel around quite a lot to get to those places and all that. So last time we did this, you can see it, like we jump and there's like a particle effect, which is nice. What I did this week is I also added like this kind of effect when you start a dash. So you can see there's like a larger smoke, like cloud of smoke. It's the same kind of like particle or like sprite that appears when you land, that moves away as you like move out. This doesn't happen when you're like in the air though, because I felt it looked weird. Because this way now, this really looks like you're like pushing yourself off the ground, like with force. So this is kind of nice. So this is the first like one thing that I added. Also, and this is like kind of hard to see. So when you see when I hit an enemy, there's obviously this one big, like these 2 like bigger like explosions that happen like when the projectile hits the enemy, but there's also again like a small like smoke particle after that, and also obviously a big explosion. You can see it a bit more when I do like the downwards shot. It's kind of like the same. Again, it's kind of the same graphic, but in the horizontal shooting motion, it's just flipped basically, or like rotated to 90 degrees. And yeah, so I added that. I also did some work on the hyper mode. So hyper mode, you can see it down there. It, like when you get hit, there's this meter that fills up. And when I press a certain button, and this is like there are 2 things. It's a bit hard to see maybe, but you can. It's right now. It's not just like you can see it at all because my face is in the way. Let me just remove my face for a second. You can see that my health bar is currently flashing. That is something that indicates that you're in critical mode. That's the first step. Critical mode is a state where your damage is doubled, basically. Like it happens when you're like below 10% of your max HP, I think, like roughly. And obviously I'm now at 1 HP, but that's like at 1 HP it's like another layer and different state, but that's besides the point right now. So I'm now in critical mode and my meter is like fairly full. It's not completely full, but it's full enough that I can do some fun stuff. So when I activate hyper mode, what will happen is that my ammunition will be replenished automatically all the time. I have auto fire, and depending on when I activate hyper mode, my damage also increases further. Like, because you have auto fire, your damage actually increases anyway because you're shooting much faster than you would when you have just have normal attacks. But anyway, if I'm activating hyper mode, you can see I'm now much stronger, and like the meter runs out and once it's run out, you get healed proportionally to how much you filled your energy bar down below. If you spend a full energy bar but are above 1 HP, you always replenish half of your health. So your half of your maximum health gets added to your health value in general. If you're at 1 HP, you get healed to full. 1 HP is a state where, like, if you activate hyper mode then with a full meter, again, this is the state where your damage gets doubled again. Like, so take it this way: you do 1 damage with a normal shot. When you're in critical mode, you do 2 damage. When you're in critical mode and activate hyper mode at 1 HP, you do 4 damage per shot. this also applies to the drones that you have. The drones do one, like a half point of damage basically. So both of them to one, like half point of damage. Gets doubled to 1 point of damage in critical mode, and gets doubled again to 2 points of damage. And you have 2 drones that do 2 damage, and you yourself do what I said, 4. So you do 8 damage per shot, which is a lot. And then you have auto fire, which means you can just like pump out damage. There is a weird bug that happens. Is there still an enemy in here? No. So there's a weird bug that happens when you have these drones out. So I have to get rid of my ammunition for that. But if you have, like, and this only happens when you, and I have this, when you have the auto fire option active. So when you only have to like hold down the button. When you're out of ammunition, you keep shooting. Which is like something I probably fixed, but honestly I don't know, because I find it kind of like again a fun Easter egg. And yeah, and when you're like both at 1 HP and you have like a bar is full, like the bar, like you also like get like a different like sprite here that you're like indicating that you're basically at full power. And when you then activate hyper mode, you just melt everything. And what I did this week, so I like changed some stuff like with the auto fire and all that. Something that's not quite clear, but might be clear once I, usually like with the normal auto fire option here, there's a cooldown when you do it. Like there's 3 shots and there's like a short cooldown. Just to make sure that you're not like completely pushing out shots. When you have hyper mode enabled, that cooldown disappears and you can just keep shooting. It's a bit like wonky anyway, even in the normal state as you can see here, because the like shots disappear completely from the screen, but I don't care. That's just a thing that happens. And yeah, so hyper mode, that was the one thing. Like what I added, like what I changed yesterday was I made the energy meter go down much slower, so that you have a longer period of being extra powerful when you activate it. Because before that, like a full charged hyper mode lasted about, I think, 4 seconds, which wasn't all that long. Like it was probably only for like 1 or 2 enemies. And one thing I really liked about the hyper mode implementation that I did in Splinter Zone was that you could clear like several screens with it, and like it had like a really good just feeling of you being unstoppable for a short amount of time. And I kind of wanted to have this state here as well, so I increased the duration. The problem with the increased hyper mode duration here though is that you only get healed once the meter is empty. So you are like, especially if you're at 1 HP, you are much longer in a very, very vulnerable state. But I think that's fine. Like I have to see like how it goes and like what people say and all that. Like my main concern mostly is that people actually use it, because a lot of the time people won't end up using it. But like considering that this is your most reliable source of healing and like extra damage output in like dire situations, I hope that they do, or that they end up using it. I have to see how this goes, but I think that's fine and that's okay. But anyway, my phone just told me that I have to like go and fold some bread dough, so I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes. You just sit here and listen to some music and look at an image, and I'll be back in just a bit. I'm not going anywhere. It's just like, again, making bread. It takes time, and you have to like adhere to whatever the bread tells you to do. So see you soon. Okay. So that was bread. Also have to remind myself to set another timer. So I don't forget it. I have to do this like 3 more times. I really hope that this works and it turns out something very, very, very good and nice. I'm also making croissants at the same moment. Today I was just busy, like handling dough around. I'm actually kind of overdoing it right now a little bit. But also started setting up a sourdough starter again. So because I figured out if I'm already baking once per week, I might as well get a starter going and make sourdough. But anyway, so first thing that I want to do is, and I think it's in this object, because I'm nothing if not inconsistent with where everything lies. I think this should work. Where's the font thing? I just want to see if the fight for the people looks nicer if I use a bigger font. Because I don't think that it has to be this small on the screen. I think it needs it should be bigger. I also had the idea of maybe doing a thing where the text wobbles in. I don't know how to let's see. Also you might hear some white music as well. It's a bit chaotic, I'm sorry. This might be a bit much. I have to look at this again. Because I don't know. Maybe mute this. Also this. Sorry. So let's get back to the overworld and look at this again. I think that's a bit too large. This is more I kind of want it to be one size smaller. Only one though, not two. Going back to the other state, it's going 2 sizes smaller, and I kind of only want to get it a bit smaller. I'm pointing at the screen, which doesn't work. Anyway, so yeah, so this font won't work. But I think we can make this work. We just duplicate this font and call it font people. So what's the size here? Yeah, 24. This is still the same, right? This is 12. I have no. Ooh, this might be a problem because I can't really change the size. Let's do 18 and see how this actually looks like. Also, my laundry is done, but I'll get it out once I have to do the bread the next time over. Anyway, so we are here people. I have to do it this way because if I go from the test room to the overworld, the game kind of locks up because it has no idea where to place the player. Oh, wait a second, I can do this stuff much faster. I actually have to look at the stream preview on OBS. Yeah, no, this looks not good. So for now, let's go back. This is something I might fiddle around with at a later point, but not now. I just wanted to check it. Like I can do it at a later point. It's not a big problem. So let's do the other stuff that I wanted to do. This is going to be such a waste, but psst, don't tell anyone. Like the problem really is that over the last few weeks I did some talks with Rami Ismail because it's funny, I had a handful of questions more in regards to, okay, how would I approach publishers and how the hell do I do marketing more or less, and like any advice in general, and like he took a lot of time, like preposterous, like to my like in my like opinion, like with like helping me with stuff. So like we did like 3 appointments, and like I now have I think I already showed the pitch deck, but I have now a full pitch deck and like practice the pitch, and now I can actually do it in like a time frame that is acceptable and not way too long. And like we also talked a little bit about, okay, what do I have to keep in mind, like when it comes to like, okay, porting the game and like making sure that the porting studio doesn't have like a rough time with this, and like me doing this here, I'm just thinking, God, oh, like the poor person has to deal with this bullshit. I mean, this isn't. I don't think that this will be a issue with porting. It's more like people looking at this and thinking, what the hell was this person thinking? Like building like there's like GameMaker has a particle system. Why am I doing it like this? And friends? Well, yeah. So this is what will be the dash particle, and again, like this is actually something that came to my mind this morning as I was watching a Celeste speedrun very randomly. Like it's funny how, like, I think I said it already last week, I actually don't like playing Celeste as much. I like how it looks and how it feels and all that, but it's not. I'm not into these types of games, which is a bit of a shame because like what I played is like really good, but I just don't have the patience for like very hard platformers with like long sections where you don't get checkpoints in between. It's just like it's not for me in that regard. But again, last week I did play it a little bit and like caught on some like stuff that I could do, and again, like as I was watching the speedrun, I kind of realized, wait a second, there's always a very like there's a trail of particles that spawn while you're dashing in Celeste that kind of like disperse over time, and I want to see how this looks when I do this in GB Rover. Like it might look terrible. Who knows? I have no idea where I saved this. I think it was in Shiny. Shiny, by the way, was the original name for GB Rover. Until I realized there's already a game where like a round robot is called that way, and I can't do the pun that I wanted to make. Like I wanted to call the game Shiny's New Game, but it, like again, someone already used the name for round robot, and I'm like, okay, can't do that. Okay, good. And then I lost interest in the game. Actually, like it working on it like until last year. So yeah, that happened. Center. So this won't like flicker in that way. This is just like kind of like as like, because I don't want to work with transparency with these like in this with this color palette and all that, because again it like there are some things that are transparent, but I don't want to overuse this. So this is kind of like trying to like show this dispersal thing. It's the same with the other, like with this sprite here, where you have like this large dust up, and which then gets a bit darker over time. Anyway, so That's one thing. Now the next thing. Object. I'm definitely going to misspell this. What should happen in just a bit? Okay. We need a create event, and we need to set image speed to 0. Then we go in here and set speed. Speed equals approach. Speed. I can't type, I swear. So this is like a function again. This is part of the Grandma platforming engine package that I'm still using. This is just a function where I can like set a value that like change a value over time with a constant thing. So this is like a nice thing for like linear acceleration and deceleration and all that stuff. Speed 0, and so this is the variable that you want to change. This is the target value that you want to achieve, and this is the rate that you want to like apply to it. I'm just going to like, I don't know. I want it to be like, I want it to be something that is. Actually, maybe this might be better. Like a lerp. So yeah. So what I want is like that it's fast at the beginning and then gets like wait a second there. Like this. No, fast at the beginning and then getting slower. And ideally, I would like the change of the color of the sprite to correspond with like the closer you get to 0 in terms of speed. But let's just I'm trying to adjust the volume on my speakers when it's let's just do everything one at a time. I'm going to put this a little bit further down because I feel this was a bit loud. I don't know. Let me know if if something sounds strange. Can change it like once I know it. Anyway, so that's one thing. Now I'm thinking about, okay, how do I spawn these in? I mean, I could just like for one just to check, and maybe it looks okay. I don't think so, but maybe it looks okay. Who I actually know how might be like able to do this. Where's the movement stuff? There's the movement stuff. Okay. Repeat. Random range. 3, 9. Projectiles, object. Oh yeah, I know one. So when I go to the left, it has to fly to the right. So it's direction equals 0 plus random range is 15. This way I like avoid having to do like other like angle shit. Else with part direction equals 180 plus random range 15. Okay. What's your problem over here? Oh yeah, this one. There's still something wrong. This is wrong. Yeah, okay, good. One thing I also want to do is go in here. Go in here. That's like speed max equals let's say 2 plus random range minus 1. Speed equals speed max. Now if speed smaller, speed max let's keep it like that for now, and then like worry about math. This is me fiddling with the triggers of my gamepad. Oh! Something. Oh god. No, this isn't a problem down there. It's a problem way further up. I forgot to set a bracket somewhere. Or something. No. Yeah, here. Oh yeah, sure. This needs doing. Also this, I think, should only come when you're not like in water. So like this. I still kind of want to build something that pushes this stuff out over time. But yeah, anyway. Now what am I doing here? Left equals to... this is wrong here. Okay. Yeah. Almost dropped my gamepad. Okay. Oh yeah, I probably should tell it to... Give me a moment. I should tell it to destroy itself. This is easy. Go away equals true. If speed equals 0. Let's do round speed, because otherwise it might, like, in cases where it like is a weird off number that it never triggers. If go away equals true, alarm 0 equals Let's say 10 plus random range 10 25 go away equals false. Instance destroy. I swear at some point I'm going to learn how to make particle systems. Because I'm pretty sure you can make one that just does this. Where I don't have to do this like this way, but this is surprisingly effective. I mean, it's not like as clearly visible like when you're doing it on the ground, because you have this large, like large dust cloud coming up anyway. But it is there, and okay, this is kind of cool. So one thing that I want to do now is go in here, go in this gigantic thing. Like, how long do I dash? I think 18 frames. Yeah, 18 frames. So every 6 frames would be 3 times. Yeah, I think 3. Let's do 3, so like you get 6 times like the particle emitting thing, roughly. Okay, now we have to go down, dash time. This is somewhere here, right? Dashing. Yeah, okay. And then we copy this bullshit. Yeah. No. This was, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, again, something. What did I... What? Ugh. Let's go back. Ooh, I know what I missed. I know what I missed. this thing here? I think that's a bit much. I think that's a bit much. That looks more like you're farting while you're flying. Let's see. So just this thing and also this. Okay. I might also have to increase the height of the particles as well. I think I also know what might be the problem. At least to some degree, is like that it happens too late in the dash animation. You're still basically sending particles out as you're already stopping. So I have to make it a thing that's not like cleanly divisible through like by 18. So if I do 8, like you only do it twice, and it's like 2 frames before you stop moving. It's the last time. Could also do 7. Another thing I might change is, I think they linger around a bit too long, actually. Yeah. But that's fairly easy to change. So 5, 10. I could also change the like rate of deceleration as well. That's another thing I could do. I also don't want the particles to come out of like Roba's feet. I think that's another problem. Again, it kind of looks like you're like having a very powerful fart or whatever. I don't know. Ooh, yeah, also like I need to like change the spawning location. I just like noticing that that they're basically coming out of your middle section. I think they're like the timing and all that, and also the amount now is kind of okay. What I need to change now is okay. Oh god, this is ugh. Now I have to do it this way. Awful, 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 awful. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just a bit annoying. I have to put it in here. I have to put it in here. Oh, I do not want to listen to the soundtrack for the 1994 game? Bioforge, not Bioshock. Bioshock is a bad game. Bioforge was kind of good, actually. Anyway. So this is like, has to spawn further to the right. So let's put it here, like, and this, let's put it here. Honestly, the thing I'm wondering right now is if, like, does this kind of effect fit the rest? Because right now I'm leaning kind of towards it doesn't. This is fine. Maybe I should do it more like this, or maybe even more like this. This still avoids the okay, it's coming out of your feet kind of look. Because what I don't want is that there's like too much of a height difference between the initial particle emitter or like initial like dust and the ones that follow afterwards, and I think that looks better. But again, like one thing I'm not like right now I'm not so sure about is, does this kind of thing actually fit with like the rest? Or like, do I have to like make something a bit more like elaborate actually? Also, like, this is too low again. No, this is large. Also, like, I have to do it now. Now I have to do it twice. Isn't that great? The problem really is that I don't have that I think that having larger particles here would be too much. Like if I had like, I don't know, like a trail of fire or whatever flying away, or like small like swirls or whatever. It looks really good on like on the floor. I'm not so sure about like on like in the air. Maybe the problem also is that I've like always like did this, which isn't like technically the way like it's being displayed when you're like usually not. Like aside from you're in a boss fight. But usually it's like this, you know, you move around while you're dashing, and like you leave the particles behind you, and like they're like quickly like pushed out of the screen. Let's just like do the things that I wanted to do anyway, and then we'll see how the rest is. So let's do it this way, smaller than. Let's see maximum speed. Oh no. Basically I want to put it in thirds. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, the problem here is that like the background, like that the like one sprite kind of overlaps with the background color. Let me play through a level and see how it looks like. If it like how it feels and all that stuff. I'm always playing this one. Let's play this one instead. that was kind of inelegant. Well, it's not like it's bothering me or whatever, so kind of, which is maybe a reason to just keep it. I mean, it's meant as a subtle effect, so it's like perfectly fine if it's not really visible. I think where it looks really nice kind of is when you do it like out of this like very short moment where you're doing a turn animation. Then it like, especially like because on the like when you're on the ground, like because there's like so much like stuff going up, like there's like really good communication of like weight in that moment. So which is like a good reason to keep it, because this just looks much let me, I can do this here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's kind of cool to keep it like that. So that's one thing I wanted to add. And it's okay. Like I can keep this. It's not distracting. And it does add a tiny bit more, like again, communication of weight. So the next thing, this might be a bit, I don't know if it's tougher. Let's see. I'll I think I just do the very rough version of this. Okay. I think I have to put it here. If h speed bigger or absolute, so that we can like do this like in general. Yeah, absolute, not ABD. Times 1.5. No, this is like wrong. What's the like the maximum running speed called? Smax run, right? Yeah. I think. Like there's a reason why there are two variables and only one is being used. Again, it's like old code. I think it's run that I'm using here. Blah 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 blah. Somewhere here. Yeah, okay. Draw. Let's just keep it this way. Oh, I am way too like what? Down there. What's it called? Dash object, dash particle. Oh yeah, yeah, because yeah, sure. Dash particle. Ooh, I think I still need to. Yeah, I still need to do this. F left equals true. Sprite. Extended blah blah blah. So okay. This one. No, come on. X, Y. It's left. It has to be minus 1 1 0. C white 1. Velts. This might not work or look terrible. Very, very, very likely that it will look terrible. I have to see. But the idea is, so what I want to do here is, in cases where you're like moving really fast, to give another visual indicator that you're like moving very fast. Yeah, so like this. Interestingly enough, this works like when moving to the left, but not when moving to the right. Which is certainly interesting. Also, the speed has to be higher, because I don't want it to like appear I have no idea. Like, where's the sub image? Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I accidentally did the thing on the wrong part. I don't want it to appear just when you're rolling. I only really want it to appear when you get the timing right with the like rolling off a ledge and then jumping, for example. Like when you do this. I have no idea what the good value is here, basically, so I have to kind of like fudge the numbers. Have to do another stretch and fall soon. Yep, in 20 seconds. So let's check this out and then take a break. I mean, I'm almost done actually for today. Okay, so now it doesn't appear anymore when you just do a roll. Which is kind of what I want. But it also doesn't appear when you like do these jumps. So the value is kind of a bit too high. Actually, let me just see if like the value is actually too high or some of this thing here is. Could be that I used the wrong variable. Wrong variable. Here. Yep, I used the wrong level. Let's go back to this, and I think this is sliding actually. Rolling again, old code. I think it's, yeah, slide. There's a reason why it's called this way, even though it's a roll in this game and not a slide. Because like in the older title, rolling was something different, like where I took the whole like player controller from. So times 2.5 is still too small, like. So let's do times 3. You get really fast here. Okay, now it doesn't appear anymore. Yeah, the question now is that it, like, if it appears when you do this. Yeah, it does. Good. And I can use this. Like, it's a bit inelegant. Like, in the way it's displayed, and it moves a bit too quickly, but I do not... I don't want to, like... mess with this too much. Yeah, this is kind of nice actually. Again, like a lot of this is like this was already feeling good enough. But this, or maybe it's because like I'm pressing the button like very excessively, but it does feel very nice. Just thinking, is there anything else? What's like on my plan? No, those are the 2 things I wrote down for today. Just thinking if there's something else that I could do, or if I should just like call it for today. I think I'm calling it for today. Like, gives me a bit more time, like, to take a break and bake bread and all that. But anyway, I'll do another video of like devlog on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. Like, where it's about like, okay, what did I do last week and all that. At some point, I think I'm still want to record the pitch at some point, just to show like what I did there, and like also give people an impression of how this looks like and all that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Today was a short one, but I think that's okay. You don't have to overwork yourself all the time. Also it's Saturday, like who works on a weekend really? Anyway, thanks very much for watching. As always, if you haven't wishlisted GB Rover, you're seeing what is going to be made here, and I think it's like it's a good game. Like, you have a good time with it. You can do a lot of like fast bullshit and all that. And I'm still pushing the like visual feedback and everything else even more, so that it like feels really nice to play. But yeah, you see what it is. If you're interested in that, like please wishlist the game. Also maybe give the game a follow on Steam. That might also, like, you definitely get a bit more, like, get information more reliable when the game is out, or if there are updates coming or whatever else. So that is also kind of useful. But yeah, would be cool if people could wishlist it, or tell other people to wishlist it. If you already have wishlisted it, that would be great. You can also follow @Mokograd on Twitter if you want to see like what I'm currently doing and what I'm working on, and like get updates this way. I also have an email newsletter that you can subscribe to for like more larger scale updates. That is like much less frequent than just like following me on Twitter. But if you like want to do that, you can do that as well. It should be in the channel description as well. It's definitely going to be in the video description on YouTube if it isn't. And yeah, the Steam Summer Sale is still going on. And my other game, Splinter Zone, is still 50% off at this point, which is like around €2 or like $2.50 or whatever. Which is like fairly cheap, I think. like it's cheaper than a cup of coffee, I think. So yeah, and it's probably more exciting than a cup of coffee, even though a cup of coffee can be very exciting. Anyway, it's still 50% off on Steam. If you haven't bought it already, or like would like to support my work, you can like buy the game over there. I'm fairly close to getting another payout on Steam, so like any copy that is sold helps tremendously in that regard. So that I actually get the money that I earn on Steam every once in a while. If you bought the game and enjoyed it and haven't done so already, like, please leave a review of it. I'm at 6 reviews. Getting to 10 reviews gives the game like some kind of rating, which right now would be positive because with one exception, all of the reviews are positive. Which would be cool because it like would increase visibility on like the discovery queue and all that, which again would bring more people, like bring it towards more people's attention, with in return could lead to more people buying it, which would lead to me getting a bit more money and creeping ever closer to the very far goal of maybe not getting welfare at any point anymore. But that's still very far off. Anyway, if like there are all these things that you could do, it would be great if you could do it or do those. I'd be very, very grateful for them. And then until then, I guess I see you soon with like another one of those next week, and also like the devlog on Monday on YouTube. And yeah, have a good weekend, and goodbye.